so tired of talking about parent-teacher relationships. Do you really think they're that important?
Well, of course it's important. According to our textbook, the creation of trusting relationships between educators and parents have a greater impact on students' learning and the effects of poverty.
Okay, I know it's important, but I just feel like we have so much information. Do you think it would be easier if we decided what was most important and went from there?
That's a great idea. So, I think we should talk about methods for obtaining parental support, such as introductory letters,
That's good, yeah.
back to school nights, newsletters. I also think it's very important for every person going into the education to know how to conduct an effective parent-teacher conference.
That's really good points, but we can't forget multicultural parents and students, because I know right now at the high school I went to, that's a big issue. It's important that all teachers are culturally aware.
Yeah. Teachers need to know how to obtain parental support. There's many ways to do this. Usually the parents aren't the first to make the move, but when asked specifically to do something at home or in the classroom, they usually respond. Let's see how parents feel about parent-teacher relationships.
Hi, I'm very active in my kids' school. I feel like it's very important to be an active parent in your child's school. I feel like they learn better, they're more active, they see their parents there. I also believe that a lot of parents are not active in the school, and I find many reasons for that. A lot of the time parents work. Sometimes the teachers are uncomfortable having parents around, so I feel like we have a long way to come. Maybe more training for the teachers to help them learn ways to interact with parents and make the parents feel more welcome in the school.
I think a good way to get parents involved early on in the year is through an introductory letter, or like the one we had to do for our practicum students. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
This letter, I think it should include things like what is interesting to you, things about yourself, and then it should also include what's going on during the school year and how you're going to work with the students.
And that way the teacher can get familiar with you before the school starts off.
That's a good point.
I think that another way to start off the year is by hosting an open house.
Oh yeah, that's great.
A back to school night.
Mm-hmm.
According to our textbook, the resources that are made available to parents are not as important as the parents' perception on their involvement is important.
That's a really good quote. I like that. And, during a back-to-school night, I think it's a really good time for parents and teachers to get to know each other informally. And you can also give out a parent interest survey.
What's parents' interest survey?
It's just like a short survey, and it asks things like what the parents are interested in, if they have any special hobbies, if they have anything that they do that they might could teach the students, or just maybe times that they could be involved in the classroom and things that they would be interested in helping with.
That would make things so much easier.
I know, because then you have it on file, so when you need that parent, you can call. Let's see what one of our parents in class think about using Facebook to get to know what their students are doing in the classroom.
Facebook in school?
I know, it sounds crazy, but she seems to really like it. She says that they each have a Facebook page for the grades, and that they list what's going on in the classroom, homework assignments, and just stuff that the parents might need to know.
Well, let's see what she has to say.
Okay.
As far as parent involvement at my child's school, I love that they have a Facebook page. They put all the events going on at school, and they also put when my child has tests or upcoming any kind of standardized test or anything. So I really like that. It keeps me well informed.
Parent conferences play a great role in teacher-parent relationships. Parent conferences can be a great tool for teachers to use when needing to find the parents that want to be involved, and also to get the parent support for the child who is experiencing difficulties. If the conference is not well organized, it will not only affect the teacher-parent relationship in a negative way, but can also create a negative impact on the student's behavior and academic progress. Now, let's see what a professional educator thinks about parent-teacher conferences.
Hi, my name is Sally Martin. I've been teaching high school for 18 years. I found that the best form of communication among parents is parent-teacher conferences. You can send home a letter or a note, but it just might not get to them. You can call them, but many times, according to our work schedules, you just cannot get together. The parents that come for a parent conference, they really don't know you. All they know is what the student has said about you, which is normally, that mean old teacher gave me that grade just because she doesn't like me. But when you sit down face to face with that parent, you start off saying something good about the child. I know that's a little hard to do, but there's always something good you can say about each child. And let them know you truly care about their child as much as they do, and that you're concerned about their future and about how they do in your class. Once you make that rapport between the parent, you can discuss the problems that you're having, and the parent is very receptive.
In America today, many students come from multicultural families. The normal way of doing things in the U.S. may not be normal to these families. It may surprise newcomers from other cultures. And teachers need to have a heightened sense of awareness. With this heightened sense of awareness, educators can recognize cultural differences and help students transition smoothly into the U.S. classroom. In some countries, parents aren't expected to help out in the classroom. They think that their role is to provide for the student's basic needs, such as feeding the student and making sure that they have clothing so that they can do well in the classroom. It is important to bridge the cultural gap by learning all that you can about the student's culture. Also, it could be as simple as, greeting the student in their native language. Just as long as you seem culturally aware and you try to welcome that student in as best you can, there should be good parent-teacher interactions. According to our textbook, teachers should translate anything that is sent home with multicultural students. Also, it can be helpful to offer orientation sessions. It can be helpful to develop welcome videos or conduct a home visit to ensure that these families feel welcome and involved in the classroom. Anna, I am so glad we picked out the most important points for working with parents and went from there. I feel like I really understand how to work with parents better now.
Oh, I agree. As long as we can focus on the methods for getting the parental support, parent-teacher conferences, and the multicultural families, everything else will come natural.
I agree. And like our textbook says, teacher-parent contacts can be time-consuming and require practice, but in the long run, they can be one of the most rewarding aspects of working in the field of education.